how the respiration happens, and we also discussed about the Bohr effect, a chloride shift, and the regulation of respiration along with the respiratory pigments. Now, today we are going to discussing about the circulation. Name itself circulation. Circulation means circulating something. As we are discussing about the metabolic pathways, today we are discussing about the circulation. So, all the animals which require a continuous supply of nutrients and oxygen for their energy production. Without these, they can't survive, they can't able to manage their life, and they also have to eliminate the metabolic waste materials, which is produced through the different metabolic pathways like catabolism. In complex multicellular microorganisms, there is a complex organ system. In that organ system, uh, animals transport the oxygen as well as nutrients from the environment to the organs called digestive system, to the body cells by the internal fluid called blood within a closed system are called as circulatory system. Here the circulatory system are of a cardiovascular system, or the vascular system is also a organic system which permits to circulate and transport the nutrients like amino acids and electrolytes, intern oxygen, carbon dioxide gases, along with the hormones and blood cells from the cells into the body to provide the nutritional requirements to help in fighting the diseases and stabilizing the temperature. As we discussed in the past chapters, the maintenance of the pH and maintenance of the homeostasis. Here the circulatory system, which consisting of the a circulating fluid called blood, a propulsive organ called heart that pumps the blood into the vessels, and the tubes through which blood circulates like arteries and veins. The circulation, almost all the multicellular organisms which needs a circulatory system to transport oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. The circulatory system, which is effectively a network of cylindrical vessels called arteries, veins, and the capillaries, which is originated from a pump of heart. Depending upon the complexity, the circulatory system, which is divided into two systems like open circulatory system and the closed circulatory system. Here in case of open circulatory system, which is a primarily founded in invertebrates, here the blood flow freely through the cavities, and there are no vessels to conduct the blood, and there is no distinction between the blood and interstitial fluid, and this combined fluid is called as hemolymph. In arthropods, including birds, insects, crustaceans, and most molluscans, have an open circulatory system. In an open circulatory system, The blood is not enclosed in blood vessels, but which is pumped into a cavity called hemocoel. The blood is called hemolymph. As the heart beats, the animal moves. The hemolymph that circulates around the organs within the body cavity, re-entering the heart through the openings called ostia. This movement allows for gas and nutrient exchange. Hemolymph that fills all the interior hemocoel of the body, which surrounds all the cells. And the hemolymph is composed of water and inorganic salts like sodium, chloride, potassium, magnesium, and the calcium. And the organic substance like biomolecules, carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. The primary oxygen transporter, a transporting molecule here is hemocyanin. The pigment is hemocyanin. There are free floating cells, the hemocytes within the hemolymph. They play a role in the arthropod immune system. So what are the main characteristics of the open circulatory system is blood flows at a low velocity and the low pressure due to the absence of smooth muscle in the vessels. Exchange of materials between the cells and blood is facilitated by the direct contact. Red blood cells are absent, respiratory pigment, and if presented, which is dissolved already in the plasma. When coming to the closed circulatory system, so it's closed circulation in all the vertebrates, in some invertebrates like earthworm, this is a closed loop system in which the blood is not moving freely in the cavity as like in the open circulatory system. So here in the closed circulatory system, blood which containing the blood vessels that circulating unidirectionally means in one direction it moves, flow through from the heart around the systematic circulatory route, then returning to the heart again. The blood flow through vessels inside the body, such as arteries and veins, so called as closed circulation. Here you can see in the figure saying that in the arthropods and in earthworm, in the invertebrates and earthworm, here you can see the flow of blood fluid from interstitial, uh, here from the lymph in the different sorry, anterior vessels and posterior vessels. So it is happening in a closed manner. So what are the characteristics of the closed circulation? The speed of the blood circulation in the closed system, and the blood pressure is more due to the presence of muscular and contractile blood vessels. So the exchange of materials between cells and the blood is which is mediated by the interstitial fluid. So the red blood cells are with red pigment called hemoglobin. In the earthworm, hemoglobin is already presented in the plasma. The volume of the blood flowing through the blood vessels is regulated by the contraction and relaxation of the muscles of blood vessels. So what are the main differences in between the closed circulatory system and open circulatory system? As we already seen, the hemolymph that is directly bathes the organ and the tissues, and the blood which circulates within the closed system. Uh, in case of open circulatory system, the blood and interstitial fluid cannot be separated. So there is no separation in the blood and interstitial fluid. But in case of closed circulatory system, yes, we have the blood and interstitial fluid, which is distinct. And in case of open circulatory system, uh, as we already discussed, that happens in molluscans and arthropods. Uh, and in closed circulatory system, that is presented in annelids and vertebrates. And in case of open circulatory system, the blood is pumped into a body cavity. So in a closed circulatory system, there will be a distinct uh, presence of blood and interstitial fluid. So the blood is pumped through the vessels by the heart. And in open circulatory system, dorsal blood vessel presented. But in closed circulatory system, dorsal and ventral vessels are presented. So in the open circulatory system, capillary system is absented. But in closed circulatory system, capillary system is presented. Blood is in direct contact with the tissues in case of open circulatory system, because there will not be a presence of any distinct type of organs to circulate. But in case of a closed circulatory system, blood is not in direct contact with the body tissue. There will be another organ which purifies the blood. In case of open circulatory system, nutrients are exchanged directly between the blood and the tissue, because the blood directly pumped into the body cavity, so that the blood is directly contacted with the tissues. Whereas in case of closed circulatory system, a blood is not in directly contact with the tissues. In open circulatory system, nutrients are exchanged directly between the blood and tissues. In closed circulatory system, the nutrients are exchanged through the tissue fluid. There is no transport of gases in case of open circulatory system, whereas in case of closed circulatory system, gases are transported and the fluid flowing system is called blood. Here the fluid flowing system is hemolymph in case of open circulatory system, that will not containing any respiratory pigments, whereas in case of closed circulatory system, uh, we have the respiratory pigments called hemoglobin. In case of open circulatory system, the volume of blood cannot be controlled, because there will not be any organized organ system for open circulatory system. Blood is directly pumped into the body cavity. But in case of closed circulatory system, volume of blood can be controlled by the contraction and relaxation of the blood vessels. Here in case of so that the body flow is rapid, there will be a chance of getting the pressure during the contraction and relaxation of the blood vessels. But in case of open circulatory system, the blood flow is very slow, and there will not be any type of pressure for contraction and relaxation. The open spaces are called sinuses and the lacunae. in closed circulatory system, the closed spaces that involve the arteries and the veins. The examples for the closed circulatory system is earthworms, squids, and vertebrates. Whereas in case of open circulatory system, cockroaches, spiders, snails, calms are the examples for the open circulatory system. Here the system of fishes, the circulatory system in the fishes, amphibians, the reptiles and the birds that show various stages of evolution of circulatory system. It is having the different types of circulatory systems called single circulation and double circulation. What is single circulation? The blood flow only once through the heart during the one cycle of the passage through the blood body, which occurs only in the fishes. Only venous blood that passes through the heart, which is less efficient as gill capillaries that slow down the blood flow. Hence, the body receives blood at a low pressure, which decreases the rate of oxygen supply to the cells, called as single circulation. In double circulation, the blood circulates twice through the heart, first on the right side, then on the left side, for completing one cardiac cycle. The complete double blood circulation is more prominent in mammals because of the complete partition of the heart chambers called articles and ventricles, and it is presented in all the vertebrates other than the fishes. The mixed or oxygenated or venous blood which passes through the heart of amphibians and reptiles, the blood flows in with the high pressure, especially in birds and mammals. This increases the rate of supply of food and oxygen to the cell and also rapid removal of the waste materials from the body taken place. Here you can see single and double circulation. Here in case of fishes, the circulatory system, and here in double circulation. Here in circulation among the animals. In the fishes, only single circulation. In amphibians, there will be a segregation in the organs for the circulatory system, so that it's like a double circulation. Here you can see the blood flow will be like in a round manner, but here you can see the blood flow is in a closed manner.